US elections and what new we have as far as those are concerned. We've been joined by two important guests, let's put it that way, for this. One is online, one is in the studios. In the studios, we've been joined by Dr. Yamin. He's a senior analyst. Dr. Saab, thank you very much to have joined us. And online, we've been joined by Bariza Umar. She's a political analyst who also joins us. Bariza, thank you very much to have joined us as well. We'll begin with you, Dr. Saab. Joe Biden delivers a solemn Oval Office address on Wednesday, US time, which more or less becomes Thursday here, and lays out in clearest terms why he abandoned his re-election campaign. He seems as if he wanted to send a warning about the Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump without naming him. Again, he also backed Kamala Harris. He was also determined to show he will not act like a quote-unquote lame duck president, and outlined an ambitious agenda that underscored his resolve to continue building on his legacy. What were the other outlines of his address?
First of all, he wanted to say goodbye, and it is quite evident. He's 81 years old. His age has been discussed so many times. So this is his adieu, goodbye, whatever. And if he says, I'm not going to be a lame duck president, he's going to be a lame duck president. Let's put it that way. It's apparent that he's going, and probably his words do not carry weight, and everybody knows that this old man is on his way out. Okay. But okay, then he anointed his successor, and that was also, he had done it earlier also, but now he has confirmed it through his address that Kamala Harris is going to be my deputy, is going to be the next Democratic Party nominee, and she has the world behind her now. The Democrats are scrambling to help her. Nancy Pelosi, even George Clooney, and all these people want this.
Is that support enough? Is that support sufficient for Kamala Harris?
The polls, the Reuters Ipsos survey polls already give her 2 percentage points ahead of Donald Trump. She's a relatively younger woman, 59 years old, more dynamic. She has that mental firmness which probably Mr. Biden was lacking, and she knows she's been a public prosecutor. She does not mince words, and she's been very quickly on the attack against Trump. And I know this fellow. We know. He's a words to the effect that he's a, like Trump. She also scrambled for an attack. She's not pulling any punches, and the time is so short, 3 months. She's not been part of the campaign trail.
And she was, standing behind Biden till Biden actually officially announced that he was no longer part of the race. All right, Bariza, coming to you, there are different names, as Dr. Saab also pointed out, on those who have supported or are supporting Kamala Harris as the presidential nominee. But one name for the moment has not come up officially, and that is of Barack Obama. He has for the moment remained silent on who he endorses for president. Other leaders have come up, other two public endorsers. Why not Obama? Is this going to happen soon? And why hasn't it happened so far?
I think that he is going to wait until the DNC, which is only a couple of weeks away. And I think that it is him following through on his belief that it should be the will of the people, except, of course, right now the primaries already happened. So when he was leaving office, he did not endorse Hillary Clinton as his successor. He wanted the primaries to play out. And I really think that he does not want to be seen as someone who is influencing people. So until the convention is done, I don't see him making an official endorsement.
But is it important? Is Obama's backing important for any presidential nominee, in your point of view, a former president endorsing a nominee?
I do think so. I think Obama's backing will definitely carry weight. A lot of our voters, the ones who are mobilized and coming out on the streets especially, they were coming of age during Obama's presidency. They were able, a lot of people were able to vote for the first time. So even people who don't necessarily, like new voters, have seen Obama as their kind of the closest thing to a progressive president that they have had. And he was so incredibly different from former President Trump that I think his backing will carry more weight than any others. Apparently Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have also endorsed Kamala Harris, but I think that a president who was the first African American president who was touched by no scandals, whose wife is also incredibly popular, carries far more weight than any other political figure at the moment.
All right, Dr. Saab, coming to you. Biden also steered clear of overt political talk. He talks about Kamala Harris as tough, as capable, and gave a not so subtle push to voters as well. He did say she's been an incredible partner for leadership for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. This is also what we've heard Obama saying, that he is not, although Biden stands behind Kamala, Obama doesn't. Coming to the personality of Kamala Harris, how do you view her as a Democratic presidential nominee?
She's a better choice as compared to Joe Biden. Joe Biden did not appear to be a very forceful president, and we all know that he wasn't performing very well, and the debate was a disaster. So this woman is more capable, appears to be more capable. She is very confident of herself, and she will have the support of the black people. She yesterday visited her alma mater, the Howard College, which is all black sorority, and I think in time even Obama will give her his backing. Both of them are people of color, and they will not.
Is this going to be an issue? Kamala Harris having her Indian background, might it not be very apparent on the surface, but is there some deep-rooted, questions regarding Kamala Harris's origin?
Definitely, these are going to be negative points as far as she's concerned. A woman of color, African and South Asian, a woman. So if she really gets nominated, and if she wins the election, she will be breaking the glass ceiling in a big way. And yes, South Asian, Indian origin, these can be a little problematic for us, but if you are the American president.
But for an American, it will be something that they have never seen before in the US history.
I would say, Omar Saab, for Pakistanis living in America, it would also be an inspiration. If she can do it, we can also do it. Like in the UK, you see Rishi Sunak, although he had a bad exit, but we have a Pakistani origin mayor of London, and he has been elected thrice. So these are all incentives for people from immigrant backgrounds.
All right. Bariza, let's talk a little bit about Donald Trump. Shortly before the speech of Joe Biden, Donald Trump did address, a rally, and therein he branded Kamala Harris as a radical left lunatic. But Kamala Harris had also, dominated the campaign for the 2 previous days with attacks on him that had pointedly raised his felony convictions, his liability for sexual abuse and fraud judgments against his business, charitable foundation, private university. This is what she said. Do you want to live in a country of freedom, compassion and rule of law, or a country of chaos, fear and hate? She asked that in Milwaukee. How do you view this tit for tat between Trump and Kamala Harris?
Well, first of all, I think it was a great strategic move for Biden to wait until after the RNC, the biggest media event that President Trump had to do his resignation, because President Trump spent that entire time attacking someone he thought he would be running against, only to a few days later have someone new that he needs to focus on. So that was great strategy if he was doing it for strategy. I think he will be hard pressed to really pass her off as a radical liberal, even though she does come from California. Given her history as a prosecutor, the left really did not care for her, even when she was President Biden's vice presidential pick, just because of her history as a prosecutor, especially as prosecutions have largely impacted Black and Brown communities. So although she may have become a little bit more progressive over time, and her stance on Israel-Palestine is most certainly better than either Trump or or Biden. I think radical liberal is really a stretch. Yeah, and the tit for tat. I mean, he's going to get more. He's going to get more sexist and racist, and that is really going to, I think, work against him. There are reports of people saying that she is somehow flawed as a candidate because she doesn't have biological children. That is also going to, I think, backfire on them, talking about things like that. As long as she's measured, I think it's going to work in her favor with the Democrats in particularly. But if she it's going to be a difficult balance, because if she is seen to be attacking too much, being a woman, that has a different connotation than being a man. So there's a balance.
All right. Dr. Saab, Benjamin Netanyahu also addressed the joint sitting of the US Congress and sketched a vague outline of a plan for a de-radicalized post-war Gaza and touted potential future alliance between Israel and America. Dozens of Democrats boycotted his remarks. Thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters demonstrated nearby. Netanyahu dismisses criticism of the campaign that has devastated the Palestinian enclave and killed more than 39,000 as we speak. I don't know what the actual figure is right now. What impact did this speech have politically in the United States? Because we saw the Democrats, some of the Democrats not being part of that address, and secondly the protests of thousands of people outside.
The very fact that he was given a fourth chance to visit, to talk to the American Senate and Congress. So it goes to show that Americans want Israel and by extension their leaders to succeed in Gaza. And when he entered the hall, he was given a rapturous applause by the Republicans.
And they continue to applaud him even during his address.
Yeah. So it goes to, and although the applause from the Democrats was subdued, but still it goes to show the kind of sympathies that the American leadership, if not the public, has with Netanyahu. Even the Jews protested against his visit. There was a picture in the paper this morning in which they showed Jews protesting with Palestinian flags. So he's there. He's a man with Teflon skin. Nothing sticks to it. He is there basically asking for money for his military campaign. Although it's I don't understand. They've been on a killing spree for the last 10 months, and still they say that we have not been able to.
I mean, what I want to understand is, under the whole political scenario in the US, what are Netanyahu's chances? But I already more or less know the answer, because both the Democrats and Republicans support him wholeheartedly and support Israel. But will there be a change looking at the pressure that is also coming?
I don't think so. I think he'll get what he wants. He'll get the ammunition. He'll get the armament, everything. And even, you know, Kamala Harris's husband is also Jewish. I don't know whether he's Zionist or not, but he's Jewish.
All right. So a lot of questions, answers point toward Netanyahu being helped 100% by the US government. Bariza, Netanyahu has also sought to shore up US support for Israel, especially weapons supplies, in the wake of this whole international censure after more than 9 months of conflict in Gaza. We all know also that Joe Biden has been pressing for a 3-point ceasefire agenda that Israel has yet to fully accept or endorse. But Netanyahu also made no mention of creating a pathway to Palestinian statehood, something that the US government has also been pushing for. Does that put him and the US government at odds, or all is well?
Oh, I think they're absolutely at odds. Public sentiment, for sure, is clearly, there is no way that it is the same as it was like 20 years ago, or even longer, when Bill Clinton was a lame duck president at the end of his presidency, and he was trying for peace in the Middle East. Public sentiment was not what it is now. You didn't have people tearing down U.S. flags and putting up Palestinian flags in the streets outside the U.S. Capitol. People are voting. They are the undecideds and the not this guy votes that came in the primaries for Biden were also, though not huge, they were telling. The U.S. is never going to back something wholeheartedly if there isn't a Palestinian state. They haven't done that so far. I don't see that happening. and recently the allyship that your other guest was referring to as well. The allyship has been there, but between groups like Jewish Voices for Peace, Palestinian Voices, Black Lives Matter, all of these groups, the inter-ethnic, inter-religious allyship that has happened around this issue, I don't think that it's going anywhere. And it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's working its way up through the government in states and local constituencies, and then hopefully higher up.
What is the voter sentiment, Bariza, in the US as we speak? We see some of the polls that Dr. Saab has also pointed about. The Reuters Ipsos poll on Tuesday shows Harris with a lead of 2 percentage points, 44 to 42%. CNN poll shows Trump leading Harris 49% to 46%. Both findings are within the poll's margins of errors, nevertheless. But do they have any impact? What is the voter sentiment? Who are they wanting to vote? Has the famous incident of shooting Trump gone in his favor?
So I think it may have gotten him some sympathy points initially, but now that he's refusing to release medical records, which suggests that he was possibly hit by a shard of glass from a broken teleprompter instead of the actual bullet, I don't know. Of course, now conspiracy theories are no longer on the domain of only the right. Now you have Democrats also saying that maybe this was an inside job. I don't know that it's really necessarily gone in his favor. I would, yeah, that's what I would say about
that. A lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of things that could or could not, help Trump as far as his campaign is concerned.
I will say that yes. For vice president, that like the polls that might come out after the vice presidential pick that Kamala Harris makes, that might be more telling.
All right. So we have to wait and see, basically. Dr. Saab, let's come to the first address by Donald Trump when he, of course, once he had gone through the incident of this shooting and everything, he did begin off recounting his attempt on his life in detail, called for unity. I mean, it was a very moderate beginning of a speech and pledged to be president for all of America, not half of America. But, Trump being Trump, he soon reverts to stoking divisions, attacking rivals, accuses Democrats of destroying our country, compares migrants to Hannibal Lecter, praises autocratic leaders and calls Nancy Pelosi as crazy. He also claims that Democrats used COVID to cheat in the 2020 election. So, I mean, this is also part of his strategy to not accept the previous elections as well. Do speeches like these affect voter sentiment? Does it affect voter sentiment towards Trump, away from Trump? How do voters basically move as far as these such speeches are concerned, and how are they tilted by such speeches?
Donald Trump basically appeals to redneck Americans. Whatever he speaks about immigrants, about conspiracy theories of COVID being perhaps not true. So he appeals to people whose sentiments can be easily swayed. So and he also says that I am a Christian, things like that. So he's talking to the Christians also. So he's not appealing to the blacks, minorities, to the immigrants, but he has popular appeal among the white people. So still the Hispanics might be growing in number, but still the whites are in majority. So he will influence people with all the nonsense that he talks about.
All right. Final question to you, Bariza. In 2020's presidential election, a record 159 Americans turned out to vote. Still, tens of millions of eligible people did not participate, which represents a significant percentage and segment of the potential electorate that could tip 2024's outcome. Add to that are the new voters also that are being added. What is the expectation for voter turnout this year?
My prediction is that voter turnout should be equal or better than last time. Polls in swing states apparently have reported that 80% of eligible voters have said that they will come out and vote. I would say that if you look at the demonstrations and encampments on college campuses around the country, those are all students. The majority of them are students who were not eligible to vote in the last election. And so that is a huge demographic. I I expect there to be more turnout than there was last time.
All right. Thank you very much, Bariza, Omar, to have joined us. Thank you very much, Dr. Tuqral Amin, to have joined us on the US elections. We'll continue to, of course, cover it, because as the elections come near, also there is a lot of things that are going to be made more clear with the DNC, and of course the aftermath of that, and what happens, who is eventually the nominee from the Democratic Party, whether it will be Kamala Harris or not, or how will Obama endorse Kamala Harris in the coming days or in the coming hours. I think it's very important, because US being US, a lot of eyes are on it. So we'll be, of course, looking forward to that, and we'll be looking forward to your points of views on that as well. Thank you very much, Dr. Tuqral Amin, as well.